Federal $1 billion loan to boost electricity supply. 18 bodies were covered as
This is the news.
Bank AFDB to provide electricity for 5 million people at the end of 2026. Special advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, who disclosed this in a statement, said President Bola Tinubu made this known at the just concluded two-day Mission 300 Africa Energy Summit in Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. Tinubu also stated that the AFDB's $200 million in the Nigeria electrification project would provide electricity for 500,000 people. The speech was delivered by the Minister of Power, Adebayo Adilabu, acknowledged AFDB's $1.1 billion expected to provide electricity for 500,000 people by the end in investment into Nigeria's Desert to Power program and facility for the Nigeria-grade battery energy storage system. The Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council has officially launched a regulatory policy framework designed to stimulate foreign direct investment and improve nation's business environment. The event took place at the State House Conference Hall in Abuja. In attendance were the Deputy Chief of Staff to the President, Senator Ibrahim Adegia, Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Olayemi Cardoso, Permanent Secretaries of Ministries, Departments and Agencies, and representatives of several chambers of commerce and captains of industry. Addressing the audience, Senator Ibrahim Adegia, who represented President Bola Tinubu, assured investors of the federal government support, particularly in the area of business. He said payback is a top priority for the President, in line with the 8-point renewed hope agenda of his administration, and the Commission has implemented over 180 verifiable business reforms since its inception. The Director General of the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council, Princess Zara Mustafa Awudu, emphasized the importance of a competitive and investment-friendly Nigeria. She filed state action plans for enabling business reforms program backed by $750 million in World Bank support. Away from Nigeria, East African rebel group to resolve the escalating conflict. It was resolved at the East African community hosted by Kenya and attended by Rwandan over the affected population. An American Airlines passenger plane carrying 64 people has crashed with a military helicopter on a training exercise, prompting a major emergency rush after flying from Kansas. 18 bodies have been pulled out from the river, but official confirmation is awaited. Washington Border has confirmed that both aircrafts are in the water and 64 people flying in the American Airlines Air. Meanwhile, American President Washington National Airport. The crash involved an American airline carrying 64 passengers and crew and a U.S. Army Black Hawk chopper carrying 3 people. All those on board are feared dead. A terrible accident in a brief official statement offering prayers for those on board. You're on to Global News from Adaba 88.9 FM Akure, transmitting from Ilaramoki. After the break, 18 bodies recovered as plane and helicopter collide in Washington, D.C. We'll bring you details in.
The news on Adaba.
Thank you. 9 on Facebook at Adaba 889 FM on Instagram. Out to the rest of the news, Israeli officials have confirmed that an Israeli hostage held for more than a year by Hamas in Gaza was released on Thursday morning. This marks the first of 8 hostages held by the Iran proxy militia expected to be released throughout the day. The Israel Defense Forces confirmed in a statement that it had received the hostage later identified as 20-year-old Agam Berger from the Red Forces in the Palestinian enclave of Gaza. The United States, Egypt and Qatar, which brokered the ceasefire after a year of tough negotiations, resolved the dispute with an agreement that Yehud and two other hostages would be released on Thursday. The death toll from an Israeli airstrike late Wednesday in the northern occupied said in a brief update that 10 people were martyred in an Israeli airstrike on Tamun town in the Tubas Governorate. Palestinian Red Crescent Society confirmed that 7 Palestinians were killed and 4 seriously injured in Tamun, south of Tubas. According to a report quoted a military statement that According to a report, a military statement quotes that the airstrike in Tamun claimed it was against an armed terrorist cell as part of an ongoing military operation in the northern West Bank. At least 5 people were killed and thousands were forced to evacuate across 2 Malaysian states in Borneo after days of heavy rain triggered flood of rain fell on parts of Sabah and Sarawak where Petroleum Nasional operates. And the Malaysian Meteorological Department warned that the rains will continue until January the 31. State-owned Petronas said operations that will continue and it will monitor the situation closely. More than 5,000 residents have been evacuated from their homes. With a 3-1 win over Club Brugge at Etihad Stadium, the result means that Pep Guardiola maintains his record of progressing from the opening stage of the competition in every area of his managerial career. PSV Eindhoven on Wednesday, a second-place Barcelona were held at home against Atalanta. Arsenal and Aston Villa both want to finish in the top 8 and secure direct progress to the round of 16. Real Madrid and Bayern Munich won their final games against Brest and Slovan Bratislava respectively, but faced the same fate as City in the playoffs, having made slow starts to their continental seasons. And now to end global news, a recap of our top stories. The federal government has secured a $1.1 billion loan from African Development Bank to provide electricity for Nigeria after an American airline passenger plane carrying 64 people crashed into the Potomac River near Washington, D.C. We also told you that Israeli authorities have confirmed that its citizens held hostage by Hamas in Gaza have been released on Thursday. That's global news. It was edited by Sunday Ajiboye on behalf